You might think of a scope as just an accessory, but today's scopes can cost as much or more than an actual rifle, and they offer an array of features unimaginable just a few years ago. You should spend as much time and effort picking your scope as you do picking a rifle. On the surface, aiming with a scope seems a lot simpler than using iron sights, and at the moment of firing the shot, it is. But getting to that point is a lot more complicated. The best way to think about a scope is as part of a system that includes gun, mount, and scope. All three have to work together. First, you need to choose a scope that's appropriate to the gun. A scope that's perfect for shooting squirrels at 20 yards won't work for shooting targets at 1,000, and vice versa. A scope that's perfect for a 30-pound bench rest competition gun would look ridiculous on a lightweight mountain rifle. In the same way, the mounting system must be appropriate for both the scope and the rifle. It must position the scope so there's enough but not too much clearance between it and the rifle. It has to position the scope high enough so you can operate the rifle, but not so high that you can't keep your cheek firmly planted on the buttstock while aiming. Every scope has a range of distance where you can position your eye and get a clear view through the scope. This is called eye relief. The mounting system must let you locate the scope so you can comfortably see through it with your cheek firmly planted on the buttstock. Once you have the scope installed correctly, you may find the targets out of focus. Most modern scopes let you adjust the ocular lens, which is the one closest to your eye, so the focus is sharp. You may also find the scope's aiming point moves around on the target as you move your eye behind the scope. Many scopes allow you to eliminate that by turning a knob or a ring called a parallax adjustment. Now you're ready to aim with a scope. In many ways, it will be a lot easier than aiming with iron sights. One way it won't be easier is that the scope will magnify every little wiggle you make while aiming at the target. The higher the magnification, the more vigorously the aiming point will dance around on the target. You can never be rid of this motion entirely. The extent of the target that is covered by the aiming point is called the wobble area. You want the wobble area to be as small as possible and centered on the target. Hold the rifle in a well-supported position. Exercise careful trigger control, and you can fire when your wobble area is small and directly over the target. If you time the shot right, you'll get a hit.